what I love about that era was a child didn't have so much anxiety because they were always running. They were always exercising. As much as they were creative with their mind about a game and concentrated, being disciplined through the game itself, right? But they were also like working out all the time. They were completely active.
They were outside.
They were outside.
Getting sun.
Exactly.
Which is so underrated for how important it is to get real sun.
Yes, and then but the bad thing about that time, because we can't just talk about the good, we got to talk also about the bad, is like there was very poor education in terms of like parenthood. Back then you were a child, they used to beat the crap out of you. Right? Let's be real. That also causes trauma. Men were leaving their wives like left and right back in that era, creating like destruction. So every era had a good and bad. And you mentioned something about the sun.
Yeah, that's true. There's a lot of just stories out there. If you kind of get to know your friends of your age and kind of like right before me, like Freddie's age, because he was born in '86. There is a lot of history of really bad parenting where like your parents just leave, like they're just working all the time. And I know I just talked about that here too, but I think there is like even just the parents taking the kids' side now, the way can be frustrating as a teacher. But back in the day, it's like your teacher could be straight up lying about you, and your parent would just completely ignore everything you say. Like there wasn't really, I feel like there was a lot less respect, towards their kids. It was just kind of like, I'm the parent. It is what I say, my way or the highway. 'Cause I said so, kind of stuff. Like no real explanation. Just like treating kids like they're just like less than, and like they're belittled, and like they're not, and the fights that you would go on in front of kids and stuff back in the day. It's like now there's a lot more knowledge and education on like you shouldn't do this in front of your kid because it will traumatize them. You should be more careful and more helpful and more connected. And so there is like a lot more like just people who are going to have kids like reading self-help books and reading books about parenting and actually caring to be like the gentle parent rather than just like the first course of action is let me beat you or something, so for sure I can agree with that.
And then also that's you can see like how extremes are bad, because in one era the extreme was the overindulgence of discipline, which was done with hitting, violence,
emotional abuse,
exactly, psychological abuse,
belittling,
because back then in the 80s it was common that a man will hit a woman, right? So then on the other side,
and cheat a lot,
cheat a lot, and women will be submissive. So and then now in this era you get the other radical point of like your kids you can't say anything.
Yeah, everyone gets a prize.
Exactly.
Like,
so
no one is a winner.
Exactly. So that's the whole
participation.
Yeah, participation, awards.
But why do we sell lies? Because it's easy to do it than to really sell the truth, which is going to take a lot to digest. And a lot of people have hard times digesting truth. And I want to go a little bit into that realm of exploration, because you said the sun is really good. You're somebody that loves the outdoors.
Yeah.
Where did this passion come out?
Parents that never took me anywhere.
Really?
Yeah.
That inspired you, but how?
I never went anywhere. I never did any type of nature thing. Like we went to the beach, like I could count on my hands how many times we went to the beach. My parents were very, you could spend time with your grandma, and I loved my grandparents, but that wasn't like quality experiences. And so it wasn't until I was 19 that I was going through a really bad breakup, and my friend was like, let's go kayaking. And I was like, what? I'm like, no. She's like, it's easy. I was like, I've never done that. She's like, it's easy. Let's go. You can do it. She took me kayaking, and I was hooked. Like, I was just like, what? This is beautiful. And then I started doing hiking, and I started just going out and putting myself into like nature because my friend who took me kayaking was like, oh, if you like this, let's go on a hike, let's go do this. And I was like I said, I was going through this breakup, so I just wanted to be outside. And I realized, like, wow, I missed out. It's kind of the same with dancing. I love dancing so much, and it's like I never really danced all my life. I grew up thinking I couldn't really dance and didn't know how, and so I convinced myself I didn't like it. With nature, no one ever exposed me to that. No one ever brought me to these beautiful places. So once I realized how much I loved it, I felt like I had a lot of time to make up for. I felt like I had a lot more to see than I wasn't seeing for all these years. And so I just threw myself into it. And once you build a habit of being outside, you can't, it's like you can't go back. You can't go back because your body knows what it needs. Your body will feel it and recognize that this is vital, this is life changing. And so, and life building and life creating and life instilling, and it's everything.
And nature's a part of us.
It is.
Like if you really just go out walking and just breathe a little bit, you feel different than breathing inside a room.
Yeah, it's everything. It's literally everything. Like being on the water, being connected with the water. Like if you go without the sun for a long period of time, your whole immune system crashes.
Oh, yeah.
Your immune system will literally stop working if you don't get enough sun or you don't take some kind of supplement, which supplements really are nothing compared to the real thing. Just like cold water is so important and so rejuvenating and so healing. Hot air, heat, sauna air, like level air is so important. Just walking, going up into the clear, pollution-free mountains, all of these things are, I think, were part of everyday life for our ancestors, and I think that they were all overall a lot more healthy than we were.
Yeah, I know you love going outdoors as well.
Like now we can drag our lives out because there's a lot of medicines and a lot of like advancements, but I think if our ancestors back in the day had these medical advancements, they'd have lived till they were like 150.
Maybe that's why in biblical times they used to live much longer.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had the natural stuff. They knew how to use their food as medicine, for sure.
Yeah. So nature is like a huge part of who I am and what I need, what keeps me going, what keeps me grounded, and it's everything.
What's the coolest place you've been?
Montana, Glacier National Park.
What made it so special for you?
Gorgeous, just amazing views, absolutely beautiful. Mountains, snow-capped mountains all surrounding everywhere, but it was warm enough, even though the snow is all over the place. It's still hot because it was summertime. The water is crystal clear. It's like untouched. It's completely, and then Yosemite too. Wow, Yosemite in California is like giant's land. Like it's almost unbelievable when you see it because you see these beautiful mountains here, and then you see this scale of size of just amazing nature that it's just gorgeous. Also, Utah is really beautiful because it's like you're on Mars and you keep driving and it's like then it's snow and then it's red and then it's blue and then it's green and it's like it's like you're on a whole nother planet.
So lake.
Yeah, I've been lucky to see a lot of beautiful places, but I make that a part of like. I don't have a home right now because I think I spent a lot of time traveling because I didn't know that homes were going to be 7 times the cost eventually. And so I literally sacrificed comfort and certain amenities in life so that I could see things.
Interesting. What about you, Kevs? What's your attachment with nature?
Oh, I love going outside. I used to go outside all the time, go on like little hikes, go exploring. One of my favorite things to do, like when I was younger, was to explore abandoned places. Like I used to just like love looking at like I used to love exploring like where life used to be, right? And it's just like it was just beautiful just to be like, whoa, this place used to be active and full, and now it has vines and greens and all that growing on it, and it was just like such a beauty, a wonder. It was adrenaline seeking too, a little bit too. So it was very, very, very beautiful as I went out to go explore different like abandoned places. That was a lot of fun. Water always got to me too, just because looking out past the horizon is just that's one of those things. It's like this world is just huge. It makes you feel like this tiny in a sense. And it's not a bad thing, you know. It's pretty cool. And then when hiking, it's good to get that air. I think now is like as I'm I think now I don't go out as often. I think now I had not that I have sacrificed it. I know I'm just putting it a little bit on the back burner. Just a little bit on the back burner, and then to get me to go out to explore to different places like Utah. Utah is one of those places where I must go.
Must.
It's a must see. Yeah, so I have to go there soon. I'll skateboard on the rocks.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
I, on the other hand, I was more of a beach guy.
Yeah.
Like I love the beach.
Love the beaches.
Being raised for a couple of years in Ecuador, you know, you get to love nature itself. It's beautiful, but you have the beach, and
Yeah.
there's something about man and the water that makes you feel like there's a complete cycle of life when you get in there and you get to feel the heat of the sun, but then you submerge yourself into the waters, and then you feel like you're just floating.
Absolutely.
And you just want to continue to just float and feel the saltiness of the sand, you know, merge with your skin, and then you toast a little because the sun is telling you this is how you will form.
Yeah.
You know, and so to me, it's always the beach that gets me. And don't get me wrong, I will go anywhere. You tell me.
No, I love the beach too, though. I got
The beach
plenty of
is
stories
great.
about. I've lived in Cali for years, so I love the beach for sure. The beach is definitely like top tier.
Top tier and
Top tier.
and
Like Big Sur is gorgeous. You know, there's a lot of amazing and Fred. I was lucky enough that Fred took me to Ecuador, and we did like a whole road trip.
oh,
and,
you did the road trip?
and it was really beautiful. So just beaches are everything. All of nature, all of it. The rivers, the beaches, the lakes, the
You-
forests, all of it.
It's funny because
Mountains.
if you go to Ecuador, it has all 4 regions. It has
Yeah.
like the island, it has
The
the highlands,
rainforest.
the rainforest, and it has the coast. So you get to experience like
Everything.
everything in
Every
one
type
place.
of terrain.
Yes, and it's very unique too. And speaking about uniqueness, one thing that always been, I think, I believe a taboo for a lot of people is when people have allergies for things.